Hi y'all. So this is my first YouTube video I filmed of myself, and clearly I don't know how to be. I realized that I should have filmed this horizontally, but I guess in the moment I didn't want to show off too much of the mess in my tiny apartment. So this is me being very cringe just for a moment. I worked until about 8 p.m. tonight, ate dinner, sent well wishes to my boyfriend on his way to work. This is my puppy dog Ludacris as I'm sending him off to bed so I can work on my closet reorganization. And this is just what it's like for me when I decide to do something big after a full shift, hence my basic work fit with clothes that don't really fit me, and I have this fucked up collar I have, which I realized after I stopped this clip. A lot of things in my closet were just kind of flung around and shoved to wherever it could fit, and I didn't have a lot of space to comfortably put things. Also, it was unclear what my organization strategy was, so when my boyfriend did help me with the laundry, like the sweet angel he is, I wouldn't be able to find things after. So I'm also committing to expressing my style more, and I have a problem with object permanence as a result of my ADHD. So I forget about clothing I have if I don't actively see it. So I definitely need to change that. I didn't really know how I wanted things to look or be organized, honestly, until the end. So I did a lot of playing around with things in the moment. But the first thing I did off camera was fold all of my laundry that I had done in the morning prior and place them in piles on my bed. I then took everything out of my closet and organized it on my bed based on the pile organization I had before. So, like different organized undergarments in different piles, sweaters I organized by colors, shirts by occasions, work with versus like sleep shirts or lounge versus going out shirts, and stuff I truly had just kept for sentimental reasons, but likely won't wear again anytime soon. I had a pile for workout clothes, and this was a new shift because I usually just wear my sports bras to work for no reason other than them being like super comfy, and you can't tell anyway because I only wear men's extra large or large shirts to work, which I can talk about in another video. But I did actually buy bras that finally fit me. So those go into a different pile, and then I had sweatpants and clothes that needed to just be hung up in a separate pile as well. I was doing all this while I watched old best dress videos on YouTube because Ashley's always been like such an inspiration to me, and I really feel like I'm just listening to an old friend when I watch her things. So this is what my closet looks like before I took all of the clothes that I had hanging up. After removing all of the clothes that I hung in my closet, I moved around this hanging IKEA shelf thing, and I really thought I could be nifty and lay it sideways on top of the only shelf I have in there. But I realized it's really flimsy, and after struggling with it for a moment, I just moved to sit it while I rearranged the rest of the shelf. I took a piece from the same IKEA one that I have in another part of my studio, so I could have a bit more organized structure. Then after I looked after everything and just thought for a bit, if you could hear it, it'd probably sound like 10 conferences going on at one time with like a tool bag falling down a flight of stairs into an elevator shaft and like breaking some glass. But then I decided to put things I don't wear a ton, like my UNC Chapel Hill undergraduate cap and gown that I kept for no reason, and a few other things like my wig head, hats, and my shirts I don't wear, so I can put them at the very top of the shelf and just like stub them in this like IKEA organizer cube thing. At this point, I had wanted to put all of the hanging clothes back in with some windbreakers that it's way too cold for into the back, and like my denim coats in the front because I really want to start wearing those more. I guess I wanted to show these off and very little other things in this video. Again, this is my first one. One of the problems I was having before was with that hanging shelf is that I had limited space to actually put my clothes on the rod. So I wanted to consolidate things if possible, like some of my dresses and skirts. I also wanted to coordinate things by color, as I thought it would be more helpful when it came to styling my clothes for when I'm not going to work and don't want to look like somebody's son. I didn't want to hang up my work shirts, which are button downs, because that's like the dress code requirement. So I folded them up to go in later. I hung the IKEA floating shelf thing on the other side of the closet so I could gauge the space for hanging up more items, but to also start to pull away some of the folded stuff I wanted to go in there. I first put my workout clothes and then readjusted my shelves so I'm less tempted to just stuff things on top of the little organizers and actually have to fold them. And then I put in my bras. I went back and forth with my socks for way too long before settling just to have them into the hanging shelf. I put my sweatpants up top, and I was going to keep my jeans in the middle and my going out shirts in the next shelf. But I realized it would be a lot easier to just swap them because it was such a tight fit, and I had forgotten 3 shirts already, and it was such a hassle taking them out. I realized I could hang my more of my denim mini skirts just by stacking the hangers on top of each other. I also made sure everything was super visible while I hung it up so I wouldn't forget about it and would wear it more. I really wanted my sweaters to be cute here, but they're just too bulky. So I tried to rearrange the shelf to make more space and put inside my hoodies and jackets just on the bottom. The rest of my clothes went onto the hanging shelf, and I put my linens into another one of those IKEA sorters that went on the wooden shelf I had in there. I have this case here that I was stepping over the entire video. These are clothes and fabric pieces that I need altered or want to make something from rather than just throwing them away. This is actually going to be a new project goal for 2025 for myself, as I'm trying to go without buying anything new until I can either make something from all of this to wear or sell. So stay tuned for that content. I'm really excited to actually finally use my sewing machine again, and that's also been pictured in this video. I wound up my extra hangers and stuffed them up top for when I need them. This whole thing took a little bit over 3 hours, as I finished around 12:30, but it was really worth it. I promise I picked up that blue towel in the end, y'all. It's a toy for my puppy, and sometimes, he just leaves that thing around. It's totally on me though. But here's the end result. I'm really happy with how it came out and how accessible things are now for me. I even left 5 inches of space for the few things that my man leaves over sometimes. Honestly, doing this project was a kindness to myself despite being super tired from work. It's a mindfulness practice I'm working into a habit, as I realize I do this thing where I tell myself, oh, that's a problem for future Cameron. And that's not really kind and causes a lot of frustration for myself. I'm doing right by me by putting in the work where I can. So anyway, I'll end on that little philosophy there. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye-bye.